Okay, so I'm just gonna talk about how I made this video. I'm gonna go through the whole process as well as I can. So, first of all, the song is called Non-Stop Disco Power Pack by the Beastie Boys. Uh, and after hearing that song, I just had it in my head that I wanted to make a video for it, but the process took a very long time. The process took around 5 years to actually get everything prepared. It was done on and off the whole process of the video, uh, and it had a lot of things that went into it. So first, after hearing the song, I had to take it into an editor, a sound editor, to get each and every word by the millisecond. So that's this itself took a long time to actually process the whole song and its words. So this wasn't an easy task on its own. So after the song was made, I had to sort of dissect the whole words for the song itself. After that, I just thought if I dissect all the words for the song, I can edit the song better and make it better. So that was like a process. Then I made a little set to put the song inside, and so each word, I put each word in a little unit for each second, and after, you can see that sort of come to life in the start of the video of what I sort of showed. And these are all so the start of the song doesn't start with a words, starts with music, so I have to isolate each sound and hear all the little bits of sound. So I isolated all the sound in terms of what the sound would look like in a visual form, in its wave form, and I drew the sound out itself. And then after the words start, I sort of made a rough idea of how I wanted the video to sort of look with all the words sort of present. So this is the rough guide of how it sort of may have looked. So this is a hard process itself, because it's the initial idea of the whole thing that you're doing, and that is one of the hardest processes that you sort of have to go through once you create something, or trying to create something, and it's putting everything in line. Even though it's rough, it's all like the initial ideas that go into place. So, and you have to come up with the idea there and then once. So it's not an easy process to start off with, but if you have a look at this and then the finished product, it's not far off. It's actually very close. So the song ends like that. I didn't put this part on, it's just as the video is for itself. So that was the rough part of the video, and then after that, I had to think about all the equipment that I had to buy. So the equipment I had to buy was a lot. I had to buy a lot of different things. Uh, so I'll show you what I went through in terms of the equipment. It looks like. Okay, so the equipment I had to buy was this hard drive. So this is I know it looks dirty, it had teeth all on it, but the drive is a Synology drive, and the drive itself has two 10 terabyte hard drives, because I didn't know what the process was going to be. And then I had to buy this machine as well for editing purposes. I know it's a bit dusty, but the computer did what it was supposed to do in terms of processing the whole video. So the footage itself was all recorded on the machine with two different cameras, but this drive was not easy to get. Same with this computer, wasn't easy to get, but it was a big process to get it. So that was one part, just to get everything recorded on these two machines. So just to make sure I get maximum amount of footage, but also if I went over. Okay, now once that was sorted out, I had to think. Once that was done, it was thinking about all the cameras I was going to get. So these are just some of the cameras that I got, and they all failed. So 1, 2, 3 there that failed. That failed as well. They all had different issues, so that they just switched off. All of them would burn out or switch off, or didn't have enough memory. This one had this weird thing where it would zoom in and out automatically, and the video quality was very poor on it as well. There's also one webcam here. This was there because just as a backup. That's why I wanted like more than one camera recording, so it wasn't like I was trying to just record a lot of different things. It was just in case a camera switched off or anything like that. But the main I had a Note 4, a Samsung Note 4, two of them, but they just didn't last as well. So I ended up buying this. It's a Samsung Note 10 with 0 lemon extended battery. This is the only thing that the video quality was good on this. Also, it would record all night, so it wouldn't stop recording as long as it was switched on. So that took a long time to get as well, which was part of the process. And then testing all the footage out as well. So after doing that, you have to test out what you're doing. But this is Samsung cameras. While they might not be good for everyone, I think they are really good. So that's just my opinion. you might have a different opinion to me. So then after that, I did the main draft. Now this itself is the main draft. I might, if I edit it correctly, I might be able to show one of the main. I might have the main draft here somewhere. I just have to look for it. Okay. So one of the main drafts, that is drafts that I did start off with. So that was like when, because it went through a big process of drawing the whole thing out. Okay, so and then I did a lot of trials. So after doing that, I made a few trials. So I did Bar Black Sheep on a mini set. I made a mini set out of cardboard, and I did a trial run for that. And then I did a trial run for the song Bad to the Bone before I made this. So this was just the rough blocking for it. After doing the rough blocking, I made the actual thing. So it's like that. So this process itself isn't as complicated as the process that the main process, because this was just drawings, but just to see how it would record, and it came out quite well. So just to test it out, and I did one last one based on someone called Red Bar, because he made a song I thought it was really funny. So this is the rough one. The main one is sealed up somewhere, but just to make some trials, just to see if I can test the footage. Then after the trial was done, I went through the main process. Now the main process, so before the main process, I had to buy a lot of pens. So this is just some of the pens that I bought, just to see what was the best thing for me. And during that time I made the set. So the set itself took a long time to make. It looks like shit, but it took a long process to make this. Okay, so this is the set, and the set might not look like much, but it took a long time to make and plan and figure out what I wanted. So this set is made from a Zimmer frame. It's adjustable from like these holes. So these holes make it go up and down. So if I press that and it goes up and down, it's not the best thing in the world in terms of how it looks, but it did the job. While it might look like trash, it took a long time to make because I don't have what I need. So this orange thing here, which is like the base of it all, is from a crate for your groceries. This itself, see that, it's like for the blotches. So when you draw something, the ink sort of rolls onto the paper, and it will collect something from the paper itself. And you have to keep rubbing out the smudginess, not, it's like a gloopiness from the pen itself, so it doesn't ruin the drawing. So all these holes for like all the extra cameras, but they got burnt out, and I had to buy extra wires just in case. There's a fan here which never came in handy because the cameras were all burning out. So I had extra paper here. This paper was for the hand, but I never ended up using it, just in case there was a lot of ink spatter. Not spatter, but like ink smudge. These extra lights for like the lighting in terms of so there's not like shadows everywhere, which turned out good as well. And then that was like all the pens I used, because you can't have too much color because it might ruin stuff. So the main was black, and orange, and red. Red was and each color sort of represented the members of each one. So these three represent each member, and then these ones were part of like the background and other stuff. So, but like I said, you have to like have a color scheme, or everything gets lost in the colors themselves if you have too much. This was just testing out. All of this is like testing out the pens themselves and see how they look. So you have to see what you're doing in terms of like what works and what doesn't work, what picks up on camera, and then you start the process. So just before starting, I had to double check everything in terms of like how it would look, seeing that everything sort of picks up, and then when you actually start the process. So I don't know if this is all accurate, but these were all the sound waves for the song itself that I tried to sort of draw out. And I made like a lot of mistakes, I think, along the way. So these are all the words, and not the words, sorry, these are all the instruments, and everything is marked by like the millisecond in terms of like what it is. So 7 seconds, 0.5 of that second, and it goes through. So the process itself, because I would forget to record sometimes, so each segment is recorded and stopped, each second is. So this round dot represents record, and it will always record on this black square. So it will always record on this black square. So once this is done, it stops. Then I have to plan everything. Hold on, I'll just find a decent one. Okay, so once it's all recorded, I stop it. After stopping, I plan what I need to do. So there's 2 words on this one, so that's the plan. If there's a drawing in there, I have to plan the drawing before the word and do that. Also, I have to think about where the arrows go, because everything follows each image follows like the words, so I can't go wrong. There's a process. If I go wrong, then the whole thing fails. There's only one shot that I've got with this, so I can't make any mistakes in terms of that. So it's a one-shot thing. If something fails, then it's gonna look wrong. The whole video will look wrong. I made a few mistakes, but not major ones. that's because I sometimes forgot this, and then I'd quickly remember to do this. So P means planning, the 0 represents record, the triangle going that way means move the canvas after it's recording on. The pyramid represents drawing, so all the artwork. The A represents the words, the square represents these blocks. So these blocks represent 1 second. Each block that we're in, this block itself represents 1 second. So after each block, then I have to sort of put a circle around there, means check it all out. And then also I have to occasionally look in this mirror to see if it's recording on the camera once, because I'm sitting down. So this mirror is there just to double check everything. Also, while that's recording, this camera never stops recording on the computer as well, on OBS. So the 2 cameras I had were just recording all of that, just because one camera would stop and start. So the whole process would be on 2 cameras, but one camera was the main camera, which was the Note 10. The Note 10 was because it was, the quality of it was very good. So do you remember how I said each color represents a member? So Adrock is brown, so look, all his background is brown. Then Mike D is green, so his background is green. And then MCA is red, so his is red. So it sort of goes through, there's a sort of a big flow. I didn't want to draw it because I didn't have the confidence to draw it just after I'd done it. So for like 2 years I was just thinking about drawing it, but then I'd add stuff to the set as well, and it wasn't easy to just draw it straight away, because like I said, I didn't want to make mistakes, as it was a one-shot deal. Because once this moves this way, I cannot move it back. It can't move back. Once it's drawn, it's drawn. That's why it looks sort of basic, because it's, the footage has to go that way. It cannot go the other way, and I can't revert, I can't go back on anything. Each word I crossed off after doing it. So it was quite a draining process. It took 65 hours to draw all of it. So the planning took longer than that, which, like I said. So I think I've covered everything that I could on how I've made the whole thing. So yeah, that's it. And I think it turned out really well if you have a look at the final footage itself. So it's on YouTube. I think I did a decent job of it. And I think it looks really cool. I'll just go through the whole process. So what you're seeing here is 3 different versions. So these are the 3 different versions, and I put them together. So it's like this. So the original, the AI hand drawn, and the dream sequence. And that's the video. I spliced it all together in the editing, and I had to get rid of all the faces as well. But yeah, it was a long process, and I'm quite happy with how it's turned out. So yeah, anyway, take care. Thank you all.